On everything else, there's nuance and there's ikhtilaf, but when it comes to women's education, no, you're going to be thrown off of the millah. You're going to be thrown out of Islam if you have a contrary view on this.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I have a few questions actually.
Walaikum salam.
One is regarding this women's education, right? Let's say a hypothetical scenario: a Muslim country is objecting women actually not getting educated in college. Let's say we are also living in that society. What will we do if our daughter, our wife, and our mom need for some women issue, like something a women understand their problems or whatever? In that society, how can they visit a doctor if there is no doctor that is being brought up?
Yeah, I mean, this is the standard thing that people say. Addressed it like many times. There's a post-debate analysis where I go into more depth on the issue of female doctors and the necessity for them. I agree, like, yeah, we do need female doctors, but the amount of women that need to be educated in order to produce female doctors is, less than 1%. For those women, there can be some kind of selection criteria. Those daughters who, for example, show the greatest aptitude for math and science because of some kind of IQ test or some kind of evaluation, and their father's consent, like, okay, you're going to have to support your daughter because she's not going to be able to get married until later in life. Maybe she won't be able to get married at all. Then you can educate those daughters. Her father can drop her off at the medical school, like the all-female medical school, and then pick her up, take her to, Quran class, madrasa. Then she'll be a doctor, and then the country will have enough female doctors. But it's like 0.001% of daughters are women who need an education. The rest of the women, they don't need to go to college for that purpose. So the argument that, oh yeah, we need to educate every woman needs to go to college because if we don't, there's not going to be any female doctors. This is not a good argument.
Is it okay if I ask a question and a comment?
Yeah, please.
Okay, for the comment, I'd say that I don't entirely agree with you with the a woman who wants to be a doctor can't get married or won't get married in the beginning. I would say that she could always be the second or third or fourth wife of a wealthy man who wants to make it as a sadaqah to the community by sponsoring his wife. So that way she completes her deen and goes to, not university, but like an Islamical safe space to become a doctor for women only. And that's everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. I misspoke, or my intention wasn't to say that a woman who becomes a doctor can't ever get married. Of course she can. But you really open my eyes to this other angle, because by saying that she can be a second or third wife, this really brings in, because I was thinking to myself, which like high power educated female doctor is going to agree to be a second or third wife? None of them. Like that's not the social reality. And that made me think that, well, yeah, why is there like, okay, let's have this education, this medical education in for Muslim women, medical to fulfill the fard kifaya, the communal obligation that we need female doctors for Muslim women who get sick, or even non-Muslim women. But why do we have to imbue it with prestige? Why do we have to make it a prestigious position? What if socially, being a female doctor was the same as being like a farmer, or was the same as being a construction worker, or the same as being, what if socially that was the case? I wonder how many Muslims with this kind of liberal mindset would want their daughters to be doctors in that case, if there wasn't the social prestige that came with it, if there wasn't this kind of power and wealth that comes with being a medical doctor. If you strip that away, because they claim, oh, we just care about the Muslim women having doctors, that's all we care about. Okay, is that all you care about? Okay, let's take out the social prestige, let's make it like a minimum wage type of job, and then we'll see how many Muslims are pushing their daughters to go get the medical degree and to go to college and pursue that. And I think I think you'll be surprised, or I won't be surprised, but I think some of us might be surprised about the lack of interest of putting your daughters in college.
Yeah, people would be surprised, and this is from my personal experience, even with the liberal parents who want their daughter to achieve the highest degrees, get that career, go out there. Fitra makes these parents, these very same parents, extremely disappointed when their daughter does not show the same fitra consequences of having children, having grandsons and granddaughters. They want to see this. And you can see it in their eyes whenever there's a special occasion or something. And they're, instead of being happy for the person who's celebrating this, they're disappointed that they're not experiencing the same thing. They're not getting this feeling. We want to see like grandsons and granddaughters. And at the end of the day, I think this disappointment, at least in the societies that still retain some traditional values, trumps the feeling of pride in the daughter's achievements.
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you. But yeah, you see these some of these Muslim dads, they're sending their daughters to university, and then when the daughter leaves Islam, they're like, oh, I could never have known. I could have never predicted this. Or their daughters, like, they don't get married because they don't trust men, or they're involved in all kinds of zina. What a surprise. How could I have ever anticipated this? Like, are you like living under a rock? Do you not know what college is? Do you not know what these societies do to women? And if you didn't know, then how are you going to take your most valuable, possession, so to speak, your child in your life, the most valuable thing in your life, you are just throwing it, into the dark abyss, and you haven't fully understood or considered like what is the reality of that thing. So it's hard for me to understand the decision making process. And I mean, I get it. Human beings have limited knowledge, and a lot of what we know, or a lot of the things that we think we know, are based on social influence. What percentage of your view of the world and your understanding of reality is on the basis of what you see other people believing and what you see other people doing? For some people, it might be like 99% or 98%. So then, it's in that sense you can understand. But in another sense, especially when people are talking about it, you can't be naive about where you're sending your daughters. But look at the reaction. Like, look at the way that this issue of education is being fought against. Like, no, we have to have this kind of education. We have to put our daughters and our sons in public schools, and we have to put them, through college, and they have to become doctors and engineers, and there's no other way. There's no other possible thing that we can even consider. Like, they believe this to an extent that you think that, is this like a part of Aqida? Like, is this a part of your iman, that you have like these kinds of beliefs? It's been elevated to that level. And the kind of, like, people are doing essentially takfir against anyone who disagrees. Say, you're not really Muslim, like, you don't understand Islam. On everything else, there's nuance and there's ikhtilaf, and all of the things that contradict liberalism is an issue of ikhtilaf and so forth. But when it comes to women's education, no, you are going to be thrown off of the millah. You're going to be thrown out of Islam if you have a contrary view on this one particular topic. So it's a lot of ignorance and irrationality. We just have to keep pointing to the facts. Like, just that's enough. And I think that's what Brother Bilal has mentioned, that like, the facts are so clear. You don't even have to be a Muslim to recognize what this educational system does to people, does to society, and especially women. The facts are very clear. So if you value marriage, if you value family, if you value maintaining your culture or your religion, regardless of what that religion is, you will be antagonistic, or you will be highly skeptical. You'll be a Muslim skeptic of this educational system. So we have to continue questioning and analyzing, inshallah.